Marine mammals are some of the most magnificent animals on Earth. Highly intelligent, social, and friendly to humans. They hold a special place in our hearts. Every year, millions of people around the world go out to see whales, dolphins, and other marine mammals in the wild. But today, marine mammals are paying a heavy price for human mismanagement of industrial and agricultural waste, overfishing, and the destruction of forests. In marine mammals, we can see the synergized impact of these activities, and the results are deadly. This story is especially relevant to all of us, as marine mammals hold a place in the sea analogous to the place we humans hold on land. What impacts them today will soon impact us. At one time, the greatest threat to marine mammals was direct hunting at the hand of man. After the arrival of Europeans on the North American mainland, several species of marine mammals were hunted to the verge of extinction. During the 1970s, an aroused American public pushed for federal legislation which provided substantial protection for all species of marine mammals. But that protection did not extend to indirect threats. In the late 1990s, a series of events occurred which indicate that many marine mammal species are seriously at risk worldwide. Hardy Jones, director of the ocean conservation group Blue Voice, has filmed marine mammals around the globe.
During the 1970s, we thought that marine mammal populations worldwide were recovering from the days of hunting. But by the 1990s, we realized that wasn't necessarily the case. There was a significant die-off of gray whales along the west coast of North America between the Baja Peninsula and Alaska. Other marine mammal species have been affected as well. Scientists are looking into the causes of what they call anomalous mortalities. And what they're finding is that it's a combination of things. There are deadly pollutants accumulating in the body tissues of marine mammals. There is a decline overall in the amount of food available to them. And finally, there is a general degradation of the ocean ecosystem itself.
The gray whale population along the west coast of North America enjoyed substantial growth after coming under protection, with numbers eventually surpassing 22,000. These numbers were attained in the mid-1990s, but began dropping again in 1998. In 1999, there were a total of 274 recorded deaths, twice the number in any previous post-whaling year. Scientists have officially designated the whale strandings an unusual mortality event and suggest that they are the result of starvation, perhaps due to the recent El Niño, which caused sea temperatures to rise. But starvation may not be the only factor involved in the die-off of the gray whales. At the Marine Mammal Center near San Francisco, Dr. Frances Gulland suspects there may be other factors involved.
So this year, and actually over the last 2 years, there have been an increased number of grey whales stranding. And blubber from those animals have been analysed, and they still have like 200 to 900 nanograms per gram of PCBs in blubber, and quite high levels of DDTs.
Gray whales are not the only marine mammals in trouble along the California coast. In recent years, dozens of disoriented sea lions have stranded on beaches near Monterey, California. Rescue teams raced to the scene, where they found animals dazed and suffering seizures, the typical response to domoic acid poisoning. Surviving sea lions were rushed to the Marine Mammal Center in Sausalito, California for rehabilitation. Specialists here learned that these unfortunate animals were poisoned by toxic red tide. The California sea lion consumes huge quantities of fish, anchovies, and sardines, which have in turn ingested the toxic algae found in blooms. these blooms are intensified and made toxic by warming ocean waters and agricultural runoff contaminated by pesticides and fertilizers. And toxic blooms are on the rise. Coastal fisheries around the world have been forced to temporarily halt operations because of toxic outbreaks resulting from virulent red tides. Many of the sea lions brought to the Marine Mammal Center did not survive, but due to the dedicated work of the center's team, more sea lions than ever are being returned to the wild. Even the magnificent killer whale is not immune to poisons in the marine ecosystem. Off the state of Washington, the population of the famous J, K, and L pods, so beloved by whale watchers, has plummeted from approximately 100 to as low as 78 in only 3 years. What's more, the calves born to females in this population are not surviving. Scientists believe the premature deaths of these killer whales and their lack of reproductive success are directly linked to PCB contamination. Polychlorinated biphenyls are chemical compounds once used extensively in household and industrial products. The blubber of these orca is so loaded with man-made chemicals that these magnificent animals are now considered the most contaminated marine mammals in the world, and they swim just offshore of Washington State. The offspring of these killer whales are forced to contend with a huge toxic burden from the moment of conception. A pregnant female passes PCBs to her calf through the placenta, and these chemicals concentrate in the fat-rich mother's milk. The newborn begins to ingest them as soon as it begins nursing. This often results in catastrophic neurological and immune system damage. Add to this the fact that overfishing, clear-cutting of forests, and damming of rivers have resulted in reduced salmon stocks. The combination of diminished food supply and heavy toxic chemical burdens seem to be more than the killer whales here can bear. One of the most beloved creatures along the California coast is also suffering a population decline due to pollution. Large numbers of sea otters are dying due to diseases which normally would not kill them. They die because the buildup of DDT and PCBs in their bodies has weakened their immune systems. Because they live so close to shore, otters are also susceptible to TBT, a chemical in paint used as an undercoating for boats. TBT is now found in high levels in sea otter tissues. Banned in Europe, TBT remains legal in the United States.